because we have two planning commissioners that are participating remotely. So I will go ahead and read this and we can take roll call. So I would like to make clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that at least a portion of this planning commission meeting is being conducted pursuant to California Government Code section 54953B, in that Chair Golden and Commissioner Kopsil are participating from 995 Sage Hill Drive, Mill Creek, Utah. Chair Golden and Commissioner Kopsil are participating via Zoom webinar. In accordance with the Brown Act, each teleconference location has been identified in the notice and agenda for this meeting. Also, I note for the record that we have a quorum of planning commissioners present in person here in the building this evening. Yeah. I would like to now ask that Chair Golden and Commissioner Kopsil respond to the following questions and confirm certain matters for the record. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
They both indicate they can hear me well. Were you able to
Yes.
hear the proceedings on this end up until now?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
Have you been able to hear the proceedings up to this
Oh,
point?
yes. Yeah, it was only because Ann was answering yes, that I couldn't hear you. Okay.
Do you have a copy of the agenda for this meeting?
Yes, we do. It's posted on the front door.
It's posted on the front door. Thank you. That was my next question. Is your location reasonably accessible to the public such that any member of the public could participate in this teleconference from your location if he or she wished to do so?
Absolutely.
Very good. Is there any member of the public there with you now?
There is no member of the public here.
Thank you. Since there's no, I don't have to go on to the next question. I would now ask, or now like to ask that any member of the Planning Commission speak up at this time if such Planning Commission members is not able to clearly hear Chair Golden and Commissioner Kopsil. Looks like.
Well, let me talk so you can tell if you can hear me clearly.
Very good. Hearing no comment, the record should reflect that all Planning Commission members are present, have indicated that they are able to hear Chair Golden and Commissioner Kopsil clearly. I would now like to advise the Planning Commission that any votes taken during the teleconference portion of this meeting must be taken by roll call vote. Now we can proceed with the roll call. So, on with the
Point of personal preference, could I ask that we turn down the volume for our remote planning commissioners?
We're very loud.
Let me see if this works. How's that? Can you say something?
I can say something now. Is that helping?
I think that's better.
Much better.
Much
We got-
better.
we got-
Linda's I gotta get a thumbs up from Linda. Okay.
Yes, we've got to have
Here's
that.
me talking, if that helps you judge.
Yes,
That's
that
great.
works.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Technology is working.
It's all working well. Technology is an amazing thing. So now I'll take roll call. Chair Golden,
I'm here.
Vice Chair Tard,
Present.
Commissioner Brothers,
I'm here.
Commissioner Krasinski, excuse
Here.
me, and Commissioner Kopsil.
I'm here.
We have all planning commissioners, all 5 planning commissioners present, and we have a quorum. So
Excellent. So let's get rolling with the meeting then. So of course, as always, the first order of business is oral communications from the public. These are items that are not on the agenda. If any of the public would like to speak, please let us know. Is there anybody there in the schoolhouse that's indicating that they would like to speak?
anyone like to speak? No one here in the schoolhouse would like to speak during oral communications.
Okay, and I'm on my iPad, so I can't see the remote. Are you able to see that for me, John?
I see 2 phone numbers hand raised.
2 phone numbers hand raised. Okay. Can you pick one of them for me, Ronnie? Or has somebody picked it already? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. The phone number ending in 3056, hand raised. Okay, I think you're muted, 3056. Oh, there you go.
Not meant to be, hand is not supposed to be raised.
Oh, okay. Then there was a second one. I'm not seeing the second one. Oh, Jacob Garcia, perhaps, and you're muted.
Through the chair, I am a consultant planner for the town. I think the other number is one that ends in 7562, but I see a hand raised for.
Oh, that just popped up. Okay, 7562, please unmute and go ahead.
Great, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
This is Caroline Vertonghen. I really appreciate the committee for hearing my comments. And I really wanted to thank Vice Chair Targ and Member Linda Brothers for your commitment for another 4 years. I believe I speak on behalf of many residents in this town, but we need you. We appreciate your understanding of the CEQA guidelines, also the general plan, and the uniqueness of our rural community. We all now have to try to understand and digest this new 285-page housing element and the cost, a document that costs our town over $1 million, paid by taxpayer dollars, by the taxpayers. Unfortunately, the previous planning director and staff failed to address the issues that residents have, issues and concerns that were already in the guidelines in the general plan adopted in 2015. Everything was focused on this new housing element. And I hope that you will help us guide to resolve all the ongoing issues before they implement this new housing element. We count on you, and I hope you will also use the other advisory committees. They were not always consulted, even though we have municipal code and we have the process in place. But several processes were ignored. For instance, CUP, those developments with CUP, they have an annual commitment to provide a report, and that has to be distributed through several committees. There's several municipal codes that have to be analyzed by other committees. There's a lot of volunteers in this town, and I hope we can collaborate and make this well again, because this is a wonderful town, but there's several issues that need to be addressed. So thank you so much, and we will see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else either in the schoolhouse or online that needs to for oral comment? I'm not seeing
There's more
anything.
hands. There's more. You guys not?
There's
seeing-
more
I
hands.
see Christy, Corley, and Rita. I'm not able to unmute. So.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, it's interesting. I get a slight delay on seeing them, but I think, oh, the Kirsty Corley, your hand is raised. Please unmute.
Yes, I was wondering if Nicholas Targ is present.
Nicholas Targ is present.
Oh, we can't see him. Okay, there we go. Now we can see you. Hello. All right, that was my question. Thank you.
Nope. Okay, and apparently there's another one out there too. Rita Gomez.
Hi,
Please.
thank you for taking my comment. I just want to congratulate Attorney Brothers and Attorney Targ on re-upping for the Planning Commission meetings. And I really, really, really hope that we have a lot more meetings in this coming year than what we had all the cancellations from last year, especially with the housing element. And if possible, if someone can put it online or let us know sometime during this meeting, where can we find the list of the 138 parcels that were mentioned last week during the town council meeting? And I just can't find it. And I'm pretty good at finding all kinds of things. And I know other people in the town are also looking for that list. So if it can be posted someplace, someone can mention in this meeting where we can find it, what the URL is for it, it would be really appreciated. And thank you all for your volunteer commitment. And I really look forward to, some big things, safety element and a few other things happening this year. And I really hope that it's just not nonstop cancellation of meetings, and that we wind up hiring a permanent person. Appreciate you being here, Mr. Biggs, but we actually need a permanent person to move our agenda forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there anything else that people could see? No? Okay. Yeah. Like I said, there's a slight delay on it's hitting for me for some reason, but anyway, okay. John, is there, do you have any information on that? Is that is there some place that list will end up being posted that we can point to, or just put it on the to-do list? And I realize that you're probably leaving soon, so it may be leaving a to-do to somebody else, but is that something we can deal with?
Yes, we just got the list and the map from our consultant team. They were able to finalize the GIS, so we'll make that available.
Perfect. And it'll be on the website, town
And add
website?
it to the website, yes.
Perfect. Great. Okay, thank you. So let's get on to the main order of the agenda, which relates to a lot line potential change. And is there a staff report?
We do have a staff report. Jake from Good City Company will be presenting the application. He's been the project planner. So I see Jake is on the
Excellent.
screen, so take it away.
Yep. Thanks, Jake. Go for it.
Great, thank you, Chair Golden. And hello, Commissioners. My name is Jake Garcia. I'm a consultant planner for the town of Portola Valley. The item before you tonight, actually, let me share my screen here. Great. The item before you tonight is an application for a lot line adjustment between two parcels, 4170 Alpine Road and 4190 Alpine Road. Great. So the lot line adjustment proposes to transfer an equal amount of land between 4190 Alpine Road, which I will now refer to as Parcel A, and 4170 Alpine Road, which I'll now refer to as Parcel B. On your screen is the existing site plans. The existing Parcel A is traced in green and is located along Paso del Arroyo. And the existing Parcel B is traced in blue and is located along Alpine Road and is a corner lot and is also facing Paso del Arroyo. Both Parcel A and the adjacent Parcel B are under the same ownership, and both parcels are zoned residential estate with a minimum 1 acre lot size. Parcel A is located, Parcel A is developed with a 688 square foot single family residence, and Parcel B is developed with an automotive repair business known as the Portola Valley Garage. The existing business is a legal non-conforming use, as it was established prior to the incorporation of the town. Parcel B is developed with 5 existing buildings, including a 3,450 square foot garage, a 1,034 square foot shed, a 444 square foot shed, a 150 square foot shed, and a 145 square foot shed. Sorry, are you seeing my slides advancing here? There you go.
Yes. Yes.
The reason for the lot line adjustment is based on the site topography. There's a steep slope located primarily on Parcel A in the northeasterly corner that benefits a graded area on Parcel B and is proposed to be transferred entirely over to Parcel B, shown by the shaded blue area. The final lot sizes would be approximately the same before and after the proposed lot line adjustment takes place. Both properties would maintain a minimum size of 1 acre. Therefore, the amount of land being transferred from Parcel A to B is to be offset by a comparable amount of land transfer from Parcel B to A. The second area of land transfer would also occur along the shared property line between Parcel A and B, shifting the southern end of the property line to the east, shown in the shaded green on your screen. The proposed lot line adjustment complies with the town's requirements and would not provide any significant changes to the required development standards, including the allowed floor area and impervious surface area for each site. And due to the location of existing buildings on Parcel B, the transfer of land between Parcel B to Parcel A would result in an existing 440 square foot storage shed being transferred from the ownership of Parcel B to Parcel A. The building is currently set back from the interior property line by 4 feet 10 inches, and after the lot line adjustment, the new setback would be 16 feet, where the required setback is 20 feet. While the nonconformity will be maintained, the degree of the nonconformity would be lessened and compliant with the town's requirements for legal nonconforming uses. For this public hearing, and as part of the town's required noticing processes, the town sent out a notice on January 12th and January 26th to neighbors within 300 feet of the project site regarding the Planning Commission's review of the application tonight. And a public notice was also published in the Almanac in advance of the meeting. To date, no comments have been received in advance of tonight's meeting. Staff finds that the project complies with the requirements of the State Subdivision Map Act as the lot line adjustment is between two parcels. There is no additional parcel creation being proposed. And the parcels conform to town zoning and building ordinances. Excuse me. Further, staff concludes the proposed adjustment meets municipal code requirements in section 17.12.020. The required findings being both parcels are still compliant with the residential estate 1 acre zoning district development standards. Parcel A and B remain approximately the same size and meets that 1 acre minimum size requirement. There will be no significant changes to the required adjusted maximum floor area or adjusted maximum impervious surface for either parcel, and both parcels would comply with required setbacks, and non-conforming uses are either maintained or decreased. And the final lot line adjustment would require a deed recordation. So this is the conclusion of the staff presentation. Ultimately, staff concludes that the project conforms to the town code and is exempt from the CEQA review. Therefore, staff recommends the Planning Commission adopt the draft resolution to approve the lot line adjustment. And if you have any questions, we are available to answer them, as is the applicant team, who is present, I believe, in the schoolhouse tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. So are there immediate questions from the planning commissioners for town staff? Or is there preference to hear and see if the applicant has anything to say first? I see nodding heads. Would the applicant like to say anything there?
I've got a question.
Oh, okay, go for it.
How do we think about non-conforming uses in the context of lot line adjustments? Generally, I know that there are some municipalities that identify that non-conforming uses are permitted, provided that the non-conforming condition is not exacerbated. And I saw sort of implied reference to that approach in staff report, but I reviewed our lot line adjustment ordinance, and unlike other ordinances, it doesn't speak to that, but rather it identifies being consistent with existing zoning requirements. So if somebody can help me understand how it can think about that.
Sure. For a lot line adjustment application, we are restricted to just determining whether or not the lot line adjustment results in the sites or two sites that comply with all the town's zoning requirements. So it's silent with respect to a non-conforming use of the property. The non-conforming use is there. It's legal non-conforming and it will continue as such. The lot line adjustment doesn't really impact the use of the site. Mr. Garcia did bring up that there is one structure that is currently fairly close to a property line, but with the adjusted property lines between the two sites, that structure is now further away, so it has reduced the non-conformity of that building.
So the idea would be that the existing use is consistent with the existing zoning requirements in as much as the zoning code would recognize a legal non-conforming use, and therefore the existing legal non-conforming use would continue to conform with the zoning code in the same way that it is now.
Correct. The illegal non-conforming use may continue to operate.
And is consistent with the existing zoning code because it's a legal non-conforming.
Yes, yes, there's a provision in the code that
Oh.
allows for continuation of a legal non-conforming use.
John and Nicholas, I sometimes have a hard time hearing you. Would you mind getting your microphone a little closer to your mouth, maybe?
Sure, we can do that. Did you hear what we,
Yes,
did you want?
I heard
Okay.
it. I had to listen very attentively, but I heard what you said, both of you.
So, and I'm actually hearing them very, very well with the headphones. So I don't know if there's a volume adjustment on your end that could be made. Are you in the headphones
Okay.
too? Okay.
I am,
Uh,
and like I hear you and Jake very well.
oh, okay, interesting. All right.
Mm.
Well, let's go with the mic approach then, with Nicholas and John then. Okay. Did any of the other, Nicholas, did that answer your question?
That did answer my question. I appreciate that. And Commissioner Koff-Sills, I'm wondering if the adjustment to my microphone improves conditions for you.
Yes, thank you. That was good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Do any of the,
Thanks.
before we get to the, I will get to the applicant, but given that we're having planning commissioners ask questions of staff, did any of the other planning commissioners have questions for staff?
I received
I-
a call earlier today asking about a additional development plan that may be underway or under consideration on this property. Having reviewed the agenda and the staff report, it doesn't appear that there is, at least referenced here. Can you speak to that issue?
Yes, and Jake, you can certainly help me out here, but I am not aware of any plans or other development applications that are being considered right now. Jake, do you have anything that you're aware of?
Correct. I am not aware of any other developments proposed at this time.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Anne, you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I guess I'll really be interested to hear from the applicant on what the motivation is. I had imagined for myself in reading the materials that it was an AMFA increase for the, can I call it the backlot, parcel A. Jake, you said it resulted in a minor AMFA or AMIS to either parcel. I guess I'm wondering what minor means. How does the AMFA change on the parcel A, I guess? Do you have the numbers, or what is minor? Like a few percent, or?
Yeah, I am happy to clarify there. So since the lot sizes don't change, it's only the average slope of the lot that changes that results in some
Mhm.
minor adjustments to the allowed floor area and impervious surface.
Mhm.
And the for the lot 4170 Alpine Road, there's an increase of 13 square feet that are allowed for the site as a result of the lot line adjustment. And there's an increase of an allowed 25 square feet for 4190 Alpine Road. That's parcel A, and 4170, the previous one, that's 13 square feet increase, was parcel B.
Oh, I'm
And
shocked that both parcels could increase their AMFA. I assumed that one would get a little increase because it got rid of that steep section that added in a steepness. So therefore, the other one would go down a little because some of their acre now was a little steep piece. How, I don't understand the math, how they both got an increase.
yeah, the municipal code has a pretty complex equation for calculating floor area. I don't know if anyone has had the benefit of or the curse of trying to calculate it for their own site. But there are many factors that play into it, from lot size to the average slope of the lot to the ground movement potential categories. And so our town administration, some of the, you may be familiar with some of our members of the staff that have been here for 20 years, currently calculate that and keep it in a spreadsheet for calculating it. And so I don't have the math panned out here or what those exact changes are that resulted in that increase, but my understanding is that it's not so cut and clear as, if one goes up, one goes down. I think since there are many variables there, we're seeing that they're both increasing by 13 to 25 square feet.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just follow up there? That was the AMFA. Could you say which table in the, like in the agenda packet, I see one decreasing, so I'm confused by your answer. Which table in the agenda packet?
So this would be, I also looking at the wrong table. I apologize. This would be table 2. That's the adjusted maximum floor area. And I see, yes. Parcel B, 4170 Alpine, decreases by 10 square feet. Where parcel A increases by 4190 Alpine increases by that 23, 20, oh gosh, I have to do the math here. 20 something square feet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm
Oh, the-
confused. That's the AMFA. I thought we just talked about that and they both increased.
Yeah, my
That's why
apologies.
I asked that question.
I think I was referencing a different part of the application here. So in the staff report, table 2, the existing allowed AMFA for 4190 Alpine parcel A is 5,143 square feet. And as a result of the lot line adjustment, it increases to 5,169 square feet of allowed floor area. And for parcel B, 4170 Alpine, the existing is 5,274 and decreases by 10 square feet to 5,264 as a result of the lot line adjustment.
Okay, thank you. That makes a lot more sense to me. Okay,
Yeah, so it's not a like for like in the increase or decrease, but
Right.
one does increase, one does decrease.
right. Okay, I get that though. Okay, thanks. What
Ronnie,
page is table 2 on?
Red page 4.
Thank you.
Ronnie, did that cover your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from commissioners? I'm not seeing or hearing anything. Is the applicant interested in doing some sort of a presentation?
The microphone.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. Ron Ramies, born and raised here, Portola Valley. I own the gas station at the corner of Alpine and Portola and a shop in the back. My father's here, he's 95 years old, was born in Portola Valley. This is the second time he's been in this building. He went to school here. It was kindergarten to 8th grade. So this started out real simple. Hey, Dad, I live in the cottage in the back, and my brother runs Portola Valley Garage, but Dad owns the properties. So we were walking the property, and I said, look at that property line or the back of Portola Valley Garage. It cuts off, a lot of the parking. And that was started by the town of Portola Valley approaching my dad in the 60s to work on the school buses. And my father said, I need more room in the back to back the school buses up to work on them. So the town of Portola Valley paid San Mateo County to dig that out and make that available, so Dad could work on the school buses. And that's what I discussed with Jake, was a little history behind all of this. So what started out as a real simple, hey, Dad, we should probably move this back so that always stays that way in case Tom sells or, you know, whatever happens in the future. And Dad goes, hey, that sounds great. So we decided to enter this arena of a lot line adjustment, which, I mean, basically cost me a lot of money. And I didn't know how complicated it was. But it's real simple. Dad wants everything to be even between his two sons. He doesn't want there to be any problems. So that's why we started this procedure or process. And we're here today. But I thank everybody, especially Jake. I gave him a real hard time in the beginning. And thank you for your presentation tonight. It was very impressive. And John, I know you. I've known you for years. And so it's real simple. You know, we just want to make it even. And, you know, in case something happens in the future, there's not an issue with the two properties. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Do any of the commissioners have questions for the applicant, for Ron? Okay, I do not see or hear anything. It's interesting. I cannot see Nicholas except in the broad view. The rest of you I can see online. Anyway, so I don't see any of that. So I think it's time for public comment. If members of the public would have any comments on this, we would hear them. We may or may not answer. If you ask questions, we may or may not answer those. But you are welcome to make comments and we'll see what we can do. Is there anybody there in the schoolhouse who wants to make a comment? I don't see anybody on the screen moving forward.
Yep, no one's raising their hands, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. And then how about from an online perspective? I get a delay on that for some reason. Anybody seeing anything from the public? Okay, perfect. Well then.
Oh, sorry, there is one now. Christy Corley.
Oh,
Christy
okay.
Corley.
Christy Corley, please unmute and make your comment. I think you went back to mute.
Yes, I wanted to say the Ramies, Tom, Ron, and Martin have been our neighbor for many years and do a lot for the community. And many of us take our cars to get them serviced from their locations. So I wanted to thank them for that. We do share a fence line, and I just have some questions so we're not affected in the future. So let me get to that. If you could go to page 4.
Christy, this is a comment, so.
It is a comment, and
Okay, perfect. That's good. Thank you.
Page 14 of 21 shows a map of the two properties. At the top is the chain link fence that we share, which is the fence for 4170. To the right of the red box, the non-conforming you see outside the line is a generator. So we need to know if the generator would or could possibly impact our potential use of the property in the future with the upcoming fire codes. So if you could clarify that for us, we'd appreciate that, because I think you know what the fire codes and what they are, and what, if you could discuss that as well, because it goes over fence lines, the new fire codes that are coming. And therefore the footage could be changed for the non-conforming, meaning if it's not 20 feet setback for, obviously the corner of the building wouldn't change, but there's also a generator over that. And so where would the town measure from? Is the generator a building? That's my question. And then I assume that And I just want to make sure everybody sees that and can comment on that for us. And then it's my understanding that the CEQA is only for the lot line adjustment exemption, and it doesn't include CEQA for any future development in the future. This would only be for the lot line. And can you confirm that as well? And I think that would be our questions. You mentioned that there's the 20-foot goes to 16 feet. Is that on our lot line? So you can see that brown dotted line. I just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. And we did go in and comment to try to understand this and look at the drawings. So there have been comments, and I talked to Mr. Biggs when I was in there looking at the drawing before it was made available through the agenda. So can you comment on the generator and the corner and what it's measured? On the other side of that fence.
Christie, you need to finish up.
Okay, I understand that you did not do a site visit, so I was not asked to be involved. So we are in the understanding with the fire code that you measure 30 feet from a corner of a building to another corner of a building on the other side of the fence, and that's our concern.
Thank you, Christie. Chris, let's close that. John or Jake, is any of those questions relevant to our decision about the lot line, or is it something that should just be covered offline between Christie and yourselves?
I can clarify questions related to the changes of the setbacks for the building that switched ownership between the two properties. So there was one existing building, 444 square foot shed that moved from parcel B.
She's asking about.
Okay, well, I guess the result of that question is no, there's no changes to setbacks from your property line as a result of this lot line adjustment.
Do you know how
And
far the building is, the main garage building is from the lot line? On drawing red page 13, it looks like it's closer than 20 feet. You know that distance?
I don't know it specifically. I know that the red dash line signifies 20 feet. So it encroaches into that 20-foot setback.
Yeah.
It may be using the setback averaging to allow it to extend up to 16 feet from the property line, or it may just be a non-conforming use that was approved prior to the town's incorporation.
I did talk to Christy earlier today, and so I understood that her perspective, she was more worried about the generator being closer to the property line, but it looks to me like the corner of the actual building is closer to the property line. But her question to me was that she has a building 20 feet from the property line, and if this fire code that she's referring to, and I haven't looked into that, requires 30 feet, it still seems to me that if she's got 20 feet on her side and this is still, even though it violates the setback, is still more than 10 feet, she's safe on that. I think that's the crux of her question, Jake.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are no changes as a result of the lot line adjustment to the existing conditions. And unfortunately, I do not know the direct dimension from the generator to the property line or the building to the property line. And I'm also not privy on the fire code changes and how it may affect the neighboring property there.
It was my thought process that would probably all be grandfathered in. This building's grandfathered in, her building is grandfathered in, but I can't give her that analysis.
Yeah, I think
So-
the other piece with respect to the generator itself isn't a building under the fire code. So
what the building is. Look at the diagram.
No, the building is, but kind of the building is what the building is presently and as it will be in the future, unless I'm missing something.
Well, Christie and you were talking about the generator. If you actually look at red page 13, it looks like the building itself actually goes closer to the property line than the generator.
I don't.
But I understand what you're saying.
I-
The generator is not a building.
Yeah, it's not a building.
Yeah.
And the building that's there is presently there. And I don't, and
So.
help me understand why the lot line adjustment would make a difference.
I think Jake confirmed that it does not make a difference, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. The generator isn't a building.
So, I mean, it kind of seems to me that it's like a legitimate concern of Christie's, but I don't think it relates to this lot line adjustment discussion. So that would be something I'd encourage, continued discussion with the town staff, and we'll see what happens when all of the new fire stuff comes through. I suspect there'll be lots of different things that come up, but okay, let's, so now we're into discussion in general, which I guess we already moved into, but any of the commissioners, what do people think about this overall? Shall I go
I'll start.
to, go for it, Nicholas, thank you.
The decision before us is we have to evaluate specific criteria with specific facts. The criteria here are clear, and I believe that the facts mediate towards only one conclusion, and that is that it meets the conditions that are set forth there.
Okay, how about,
Staff's discussion was very helpful, both with respect to the application of non-conforming uses and as well as the discussion of the placement of the buildings.
okay, Linda, you're ready.
Yeah, I did want to disclose that I had spoken to Christie because I'd heard from her. So I did want to disclose that. And I just admire your father for going through all this trouble to get his affairs in order. And like Nicholas, I think our decision is pretty clear. There's really all the criteria are met, and it's a great motivation, and it improves one piece of nonconformance. So I don't have anything further.
See, Ronnie?
I agree, nothing else to add.
Anne?
Yes, I'm fine with it. It's, I'm just a little uncomfortable going from a straight line. Seems to, everybody looks at a map and thinks, yeah, that makes sense. Now we see a little jig jag, and you think, wonder why that is. But I think it's fine and meets the criteria, so I'm good with it.
Okay, I have nothing further to add. Can I entertain a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second. John, we need a roll call vote, I think.
Yes, let me get that. We have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution approving this lot line adjustment, starting with Commissioner Kopsil,
Yes, I approve.
Commissioner Brothers,
Yes.
Chair Golden,
Yes, I approve.
Vice Chair Clark,
Yes, I approve.
and Commissioner Krasinski.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Excellent. So let's move on to, are there any other staff reports?
First.
Commission
or we go-
reports are next.
Oh, well, staff and commission first and then staff. Okay. Well then, do we have any other, and Jake, thank you for all of that. I should have said that right away. Appreciate pulling that together and getting to a great conclusion for our kind of town members emeritus, if you will. And let's do commission reports. And there aren't any. Okay, staff reports.
I wanted to report that the town council did adopt a recommendation for the adoption of the housing element. So they approved the housing element at their meeting on the 24th of January. That same Friday, we did turn the housing element into State Department of Housing and Community Development. And the following Tuesday, I believe, it was before the January 31st deadline, we did get a letter from the state of California letting us know that the housing element is in substantial compliance. So they have approved it. We are not looking at making any additional modifications to that or having to make any additional modifications to that. So now the work begins on developing and implementing all the programs that were part of that housing element. The first of which is going to be the zoning changes. And we do have a draft of the zoning changes, an administrative draft that we are taking a look at, and we hope to get that in front of the Planning Commission either at the end of this month or early in March. So that is marching along. Also like to report that the recruitment for the planning and building director position technically ended on Monday this week, just a couple days ago, but they've extended it for a few more days until the end of Friday this week. We do have some good applicants, and we will be conducting interviews and letting the community know about who your next planning and building director would be. And that kind of wraps up the list that I have to share with the commissioners. Thank you.
Ask a question?
Sure.
I saw in the letter from HCD finding the substantial compliance, which I think was sent January 30th or something like that.
Right.
And then it said that they were expecting to see the zoning codes on February 2nd, I think.
Yes, a short turnaround.
Or else we would be out of compliance or something along those lines. I was just wondering what to take from that or what the current status is.
The state is complying with the state regulations, so they're required to put cities on notice that they have not met the full requirements of getting the housing element fully implemented. So that comes out of those sets of laws. We've already actually received a letter, I think it came in yesterday from the state saying, oh, don't forget, you have to get these zoning changes implemented and we have to report back to the state by, I think it's the 4th of March. But checking with our consultants, checking with some other towns, this is a standard letter that has gone out to all the communities that don't have their programs fully implemented. And as long as the town is making progress towards getting those programs implemented, we should be okay. So I think progress means that we have hearings on the zoning changes that are coming forward, that there's action on those moving forward then from the Planning Commission to the City Council. As long as we're able to demonstrate that progress, would feel that we're fine, along with making sure that we keep a open line of communication between the town and HCD so they're aware of the efforts that we're making.
John, this is really a question more from my personal schedule looking forward, but do you have a rough idea what the timeline will be on getting that pulled together?
Yeah, we, like I said, we could be in front of you as early as your next meeting in February, which would be the 21st. But I think more realistically, it would be coming back to you on the 6th of March with the proposed zoning code change.
Other questions from?
Oh, could I make a comment? Just thank you, John, and I mean, congratulations to all of us for getting this over the hump, but thank you, John, for helping us to push it over. I'm sorry you have to leave, but thank you for this interim service. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's been a real pleasure to work here and get to know all of you and help out a little bit that I've been able to, but it's all the work and good work that you have done as commissioners in the community that's really got you to the point where the state was able to accept the housing element. So congratulations to all of you.
Great.
I would also echo that thanks, John. Do we know if you will be facilitating our next Planning Commission meetings?
I'm not 100% certain. I'm looking at my hours and trying to extend those out to make sure that there's a transition between my time here and the new director's time. So it'll depend a little bit on
Okay.
how my next few
Okay.
weeks go.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do I need to get
Sure, you're
public
welcome.
comment on?
No, not on
No,
these that
I
I'm
didn't
aware
think
of.
so.
Uh,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
So I do have a question regarding the ASCC. I understand there were appointments there.
Good question. Yes, there were appointments there. There were 3 vacancies. 2 were terms that expired in December of 2023, and 1 was the remainder of a term that expires in December of 2024. Gina Davis, a local architect, was appointed to fill out the remainder of the term for the December 2024 term. Rebecca Flynn, who was seeking reappointment, was reappointed to a 4-year term. And then Carter War, another local architect, was appointed to the other 4-year term for ASCC. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions there? And I don't think we have anything else on the agenda, right? We don't have any minutes. I don't recall seeing those.
No,
Okay,
we didn't have any minutes ready for you for this meeting, so I
okay,
think that takes us to the end.
okay. Then, well, I guess we need a motion to adjourn, and I guess we have to do a roll call on that, right? So can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
And seconded.
Second.
It's been moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, as usual, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.